and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you to the Technical Standards and Safety Authority 2017 Annual General Meeting. I'm Norm Inkster, and I have the privilege of chairing the TSSA Board of Directors. I'm pleased that we're able to be here today in Ottawa for our annual general meeting. As chair of the board of a public safety organization, it is only appropriate that the first thing to do is to review the safety procedures for our meeting today. The exits are located on both sides of the room, and in the event of an emergency, an announcement to evacuate will be made on the PA system, and everyone should exit via the emergency exit that is closest to you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome and acknowledge our guests, including Deputy Minister Kevin French from the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services. Kevin, we're delighted that you're here, as well as distinguished members of TSSA's Board of Directors and representatives from TSSA's advisory councils. Safety matters is the theme of this year's annual report and of today's meeting. It reflects the dynamic drive behind TSSA's annual performance and its safety partners, in the manifestation of our collective efforts to keep Ontario safe in all of TSSA's regulated sectors. Together with industry and government and technical safety experts, we make safety matter in the lives of Ontarians. For TSSA, those matters are achieved through collaboration, working with industry through TSSA's advisory councils and risk reduction groups, engaging our ministry partners in developing robust safety policies, and forming partnerships in public education to provide Ontarians with the knowledge to keep themselves safe. We are especially pleased to acknowledge our partners' commitment to safety and community through the TSSA Safety Awards. Now, in its third year, TSSA's Safety Awards recognize those recipients who, through dedication and hard work, keep Ontario as one of the safest jurisdictions in the world. Before we continue with our program, I'd like to share with you a practice that we embrace in TSSA at all of our meetings, during which we will have a safety moment which further ingrains safety matters into the culture of the organization. As you'll hear later from TSSA's acting president and CEO, David Scriven, carbon monoxide exposure is a public health risk, a serious public health risk. The silent killer video you're about to watch is but one component of TSSA's award-winning multimedia campaign aimed at highlighting the dangers of CO and raising awareness of this user-related risk. A very poignant message to us all. Through this movie trailer in Cineplex theaters, TSSA's Silent Killer campaign educated millions across the province and maximized engagement, bringing CO safety to life in a very, very compelling way. Now I would like to call on TSSA's acting president and CEO, David Scriven, who will present our key accomplishments of the past fiscal year and introduce the senior management team and advisory council members. David?
Thank you, Norm. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to our annual general meeting, for the first time being held in Ottawa. As Norm mentions, our theme today for the AGM is Safety Matters. Safety truly comes to life when backed by an active commitment to technical safety as shared by TSSA, our partners in government, industry, and stakeholders. As safety, after all, is a shared responsibility, and it's only through working together that we keep Ontario one of the safest jurisdictions in the world. The men and women of TSSA, many here, from engineers, inspectors, investigators to administrators of examinations, certificates, and licenses, work every day with both mechanics, contractors, technical experts, industry representatives, and government officials to take risk-informed decisions to enhance safety in Ontario. That commitment by TSSA staff gives meaning to our Safety Matters theme. I'm continually impressed by the level of professionalism and passion that they bring to their safety responsibilities, and I'm deeply appreciative of their work, which keeps us all safe. I'm also thankful for the many safety partners that we work with so closely to support continued safety throughout Ontario. So whether you're filling up your car at a gas station, taking an elevator to the top floor to your condominium, purchasing a new mattress, or riding a roller coaster at your favorite amusement park, we take our responsibility for your safety very seriously. This year, we continued our drive to improve our contribution to a safe Ontario by engaging stakeholders more effectively, by finding significant cost efficiencies and process improvements, implementing innovations to advance TSSA operations, and further evolving our application of risk. Our annual State of Public Safety report, which is available in your packages and also online, is summarized and presented in an easy-to-read format and in plain language. And for those of you more technically inclined, the full technical report is also available on our website. The summary report outlines the state of safety in Ontario for those areas of our responsibility. And with this information, TSSA can apply our best practices approach and risk analysis to develop appropriate and effective safety strategies, ultimately serving the people of Ontario. I'm pleased to tell you that we continue to see a very high level of technical safety in Ontario. In fact, nearly 90% of all the devices and facilities that we inspect demonstrate low levels of risk. That said, our analysis of safety results directs us to areas where we can further improve the level of technical safety in the province. And as you'll note in the report, the evolution of our risk analysis has helped us to hone our approach to TSSA's definition of top safety priorities. Through more specific descriptions of the risk, TSSA is able, together with our safety partners, to better define solutions and target resources efficiently. This allows TSSA to use its varied mitigation approaches to better reflect the nature of the specific problem as defined. So let's take a look at carbon monoxide poisoning, as Norm indicated, a known public risk as an example. Our analysis has previously allowed us to define carbon monoxide risk, and last year we identified it as a risk in multi-unit residences. As a result of further analysis, this year we've defined this priority to apartments and condominiums. And perhaps more significantly, we now know that the primary source of the CO risk at these locations is in the common areas, and as a result of primarily a poor installation and lack of maintenance of the fuel burning equipment. That allows us to use an enhanced inspection program together with an advocacy program similar to what you saw in the safety moment to make a difference in reducing that risk. And to further address the broader risk of CO, particularly at private residences, TSSA has engaged national and global partners to share data and analysis to increase our understanding of the risk and to get a commitment from public health partners to work collaboratively to reduce this risk. And in the year to come, we will continue to leverage our leading work on risk and commitment to work collaboratively to address this priority. Another example of our ability to better refine the risk is in the area of elevating devices, and where we've identified an increasing trend of unsafe user behavior with elevators in long-term care facilities and retirement homes. The most prominent occurrences are elevator doors closing on passengers, with many elderly persons being affected, as well as trips and falls, often associated with distracted behavior. So last year, TSSA developed strategies to raise awareness broadly of safe riding practices, including 2 social media campaigns with dramatic, behavior-changing videos titled Better Safe, Not Sorry. And these videos are posted on our safety blog, The Exchange, and on TSSA's YouTube channel. This year, we're working with stakeholders in the long-term care and retirement home sectors, of whom we already have a good relationship working in other sectors, to address this targeted opportunity to enhance safety. Our annual State of Public Safety provides detailed information on all of our programs and identifies safety trends that guide our strategic decisions and actions on the ground. And I would encourage all of you to review the report and share your thoughts with us so we can make further improvements on the report next year and in the future. In order to be a modern regulator, TSSA has to continually evolve to be an effective organization. This past year, we continued to focus on ensuring the foundation of our organization is strong with 2 critical initiatives: reviewing and updating the regulations delegated by the ministry, and modernizing our processes and our IT platform to support them. The 17 regulations that fall under the Technical Standards and Safety Act form the legal foundation of the organization's delegated safety mandate from the Government of Ontario. Those regulations require regular review and updating to ensure they reflect current and emerging technologies and evolving industry practices. As a trusted advisor to the Minister of Government and Consumer Services, and in close partnership with our regulated industries, TSSA supports a systematic review of these regulations that make up our safety framework. And in the past year, the Ministry, with active TSSA support, made significant advances in the first phase of this review process, including a public review of the final amendments to the boiler and pressure vessels regulation, action on a report from an expert panel on regulatory reform in the operating engineers sector, modernization of the upholstered and stuffed articles regulation, pending further consultations just recently completed, and initiating the second phase of this process to select new regulations to review in this systematic fashion. Now, this is important and exciting work that will ensure the legal framework that TSSA administers is modernized so that the Ontario technical safety laws keep up with changes in technology and industry. The second initiative is the modernization of TSSA's information systems and data governance framework, known internally as TSSA's 2020 program. And the 2020 program is characterized by 4 elements that you see: organizational modernization, seamless customer interaction, strong internal controls to ensure trustworthy information, and effective business intelligence, of course, including our patented risk-informed decision-making approach. Now, this is our vision that we'll be implementing in that program. This year, we made significant progress to modernize how we deliver our mandate. Some of those accomplishments include business processes re-engineering, data management work, new mobile and wireless solutions, and the beginning of a technical design for a new financial management system, all of which will underpin the organization's safety activities going forward. As stewards of safety and as a delegated authority, we place public interest at the forefront of everything we do. As we state in the annual report, We continue to closely monitor all expenses to achieve cost reductions, efficiency, productivity gains. Demonstrating our continued expense control, we have extended a fee freeze for our regulated customers until fiscal year 18, which TSSA has sustained for 5 years. So this speaks to our ongoing commitment to deliver value for money, and not only represents our drive to continually improve, but it complements the Ontario government's aim to reduce burden on businesses. We also developed an ambitious strategic plan for the next 5 years that will guide our efforts to effectively reduce safety risks and to provide value to our customers and stakeholders. The plan on a page is on the screen, and we have foundational enablers of engaging people and effective teams, a solid operational foundation, though that's the 2020 program in particular, and our strategic goals, I've touched on a few of them already: modernized regulatory framework, service excellence, and safety awareness and active compliance. So TSSA will continue to build on this momentum to ensure we achieve our new vision of being a valued authority for a safer Ontario and to become a modern regulator. Under this 5-year horizon, we will work to deliver these foundational enablers and strategic goals. As I said at the outset, at TSSA, we believe safety is a shared responsibility. Working with our partners is the only way to ensure safety for Ontarians, and we champion that approach. This is how safety works. Through our advisory councils, public outreach, and ministry liaison, we continue to strengthen our relationships and identify those areas where we need to improve. We greatly value this collaborative approach and remain committed to working closely with our many partners to enhance safety throughout Ontario. I'm also fortunate to be part of a very strong senior management team, and I'm grateful for their commitment, support, and advice, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce you to them. I'll ask each one of the team members to stand when the name is called. Remain standing until all the names have been mentioned. So I start with Tom Ayers, our Vice President and General Counsel; Brenda Buchanan, our Vice President, Human Resources and Training; Georgina Kosovas, our Chief Financial Officer; Kyoka Kowabashi, our Chief Information Officer; Mark Rodriguez, our Director, Internal Audit; and Peter Wong, our Vice President of Operations. Please join me in thanking the senior management team for providing direct and strategic direction and support to our TSSA staff. Thank you, team. I'd also like to introduce our statutory appointees, and I'll ask them also to remain standing. So we begin with Mike Adams, our Director, Boiler Pressure Vessels and Operating Engineers Safety Programs; John Marshall, our Director, Fuel Safety Program; Roger Neat, our Director, Elevating and Amusement Devices Safety Program; and Dara Vorkapek, Director, Upholstered and Stuffed Articles Safety Program. Please join me in thanking our statutory directors for their dedication and ongoing commitment to safety. Okay, and finally, I'd like to introduce the chairs of our advisory councils. You'll see them on the screen, and many of them were able to attend today. The councils are how TSA consults with industry formally and with consumers on safety initiatives, emerging technologies, improving service delivery, and customer relationships. Cindy Seifer, our Chair of Amusement Devices Advisory Council. Cindy's not able to join us today. Steve Lawrence, our Chair of the Boiler Pressure Vessels Advisory Council, who's not able to attend. Jane McCarthy, our Chair of the Consumers Advisory Council. Jane's not able to be here, but Elizabeth Nielsen is here. Please stand as her designate. Kelly Leach, Chair of our Elevating Devices Advisory Council. Brent Francis, Chair of the Liquid Fuels Advisory Council. Martin Loomis, the Chair of a Natural Gas Advisory Council. Martin's not able to attend. Rod Phillip, our Chair of the Operating Engineers Advisory Council, is also not able to attend. David Karn, our Chair of the Propane Advisory Council, is not with us today, but Joe Adams, Joe, is here as his designate. Bruce Haynes, the chair of the Ski Lift Advisory Council, also is not able to attend, but he sends John Ball as his designate. And Lloyd Hall, our chair of the Upholstered and Stuffed Articles Advisory Council, is not able to attend as well. Our partnership approach to safety allows input from consumer industry representatives and ensures the safety services and regulations are developed in a real-world context. So let me join me in thanking the chairs present and not present for their dedication, partnership, and commitment to safety. Okay, so what better way to affirm the importance of partnerships than to honor those partners who have made exceptional contributions to safety in Ontario. And the Safety Awards were created, as Norm mentioned, in 2015 to recognize individuals and organizations that have made a significant and lasting impact on safety in Ontario. And our recipients are truly noteworthy for their passion for safety, and I'm thrilled that we can acknowledge their exceptional commitment, dedication to keeping Ontarians safe. So before we call our winners to the stage, I'd like to introduce our Safety Awards committee members who have played, of course, an integral role in the development of the program and the final selection of the winners. So Soren Korlachi is a regional supervisor from TSSA's Boiler Pressure Vessels program, and he's not here with us today. Radcliffe Daly is an inspector with the Upholstered and Stuffed Articles program, also not here. Dave Lavasseur is an inspector from TSSA's Fuel Safety Program and an active member of our 2020 program, is not with us today. Joelle Javier, an engineer from the Elevating Amusement Devices Program, is also not with us today. However, Jessica Mary, TSSA business analyst and the chair of the Safety Awards, is with us here. And while we're going to do this is we'll show a short video of each recipient highlighting their work, their motivations and accomplishments. We'll call them to the stage. But to join them on the stage, I'd like to invite both Jessica Mary and our Deputy Minister, Kevin French, to please join us here and be the welcoming and greeting group. Okay, so our first recipient, EHC Global, was selected for an Impact Award and accepting on behalf of their team that's done outstanding work on escalator safety is Marketing Director John Calderon. And John and his team used the latest innovation with escalators to encourage safe and responsible rider use at Oshawa's biggest hospital. And that fits nicely with our own efforts in addressing fuel safety in hospitals, other special buildings where vulnerable occupants are challenged, particularly with evacuation if required. So as the Safety Committee Awards noted, EHC Global has a firm grip on escalator safety and a passion for safety and engineering excellence. Let's have a look at the video.
EHC Global is a Canadian company that designs, manufactures, and sells and markets lift components, systems, and integrated solutions for the lift industry. I see the use of an escalator as a life skill, no different than crossing the street. Anytime you're on anything that moves, whether it's a car or a bicycle, you have to exercise caution and be aware of your environment. So for example, when someone is not holding on the handrail and there's a sudden jerk, or perhaps someone from behind gets too close with their shopping bag and pushes them over, you can imagine the domino effect that could take place. So that type of situation could be avoided by simply holding onto a handrail. Safety and making the world a better place is very important to us as a company, and it's a value that we incorporate in all that we do, including product development. So when we're looking at the solutions, not only do we want to make the best quality product, we also want to make the safest product. And if there's anything that we can do to enhance the safety using our solutions, we look at those. So what we have done with Safe Rails, we took that messaging, and to further reinforce it, like any other type of behavior, if that's what you need to do to make it effective, is we've placed that safety message, which in North America is the A17 message, and placed it onto a handrail in a repeated pattern so that when you're on it, you're again reminded of what you need to do and should be doing to ensure that you have a safe and pleasant ride. Being acknowledged by the TSSA through an award is validating for us, to show that what we're doing makes a difference, right? And it's being acknowledged not only by the industry, but by those that are there to ensure that the Canadians and others are safe.
So I could ask you to come up and join us.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Our second winner, Ontario's Friendly Fire, is one of Canada's largest full-service fireplace and barbecue retailers, won an Impact Award, and accepting on behalf of their team is Alex Sobier, co-owner. Alex and his team came up with the perfect recipe for safety, an operations manual called the Friendly Fire's Cookbook, with recipes for operational services, health and safety procedures, and countless safety lessons. With that kind of safety culture, it's no surprise that Friendly Fires has won TSSA's Safety Award this year. Let's look at the video.
Friendly Fires is a true family business, trying to ensure that we're doing everything we can do to be very safe, to keep customers happy, that we have the best people, the best processes throughout all of our locations. There's a lot of important aspects with safety. Gas and propane are very dangerous. If you have a gas leak, it can cause an explosion, it can cause a fire. So I think it's fairly obvious that we don't want that to happen and wouldn't want that to happen on anybody. And these appliances, if everything is done properly, are quite safe. It's when corners are cut that problems can occur. If a barbecue explodes, people won't feel comfortable using barbecues. If a fireplace explodes, they won't have comfort using their fireplaces. So it really is a health aspect, but there's also a commercial link as well. The Friendly Fires Cookbook that we use internally, our operations manual, has a full chapter dedicated simply to health and safety. Often installers and technicians, they run into a scenario that might not be documented in the gas code or in the instructions of a manufacturer. So they need to feel empowered and educated to make the right decision to ensure that it is safe. So we do try and put things behind the scenes to ensure that when these scenarios do happen, they do implement the safest thing possible. The Friendly Fires Cookbook is updated, I would say, almost on a weekly basis, and it's constantly changing. So it is a living and breathing document because it is a never-ending topic that needs to be communicated on a regular basis. Our success has grown tremendously after it was published, and since that point, we actually offer service to other fireplace stores across North America that we actually help them roll out their own cookbook. So it's kind of nice to be able to give back. Essentially, we take the template on what's worked well for us, and we help customize it and roll it out for their individual scenarios. When we get recognized by such a great organization like the TSSA, it's a feather in our cap, but it's also a great morale booster and encouragement, and almost puts fuel on the fire to keep going. And really, we can't wait to share it with all of our team members to let them know that they're doing a great job as well.
Okay, our third Impact Award recipient is Amanda Nichols of the Peterborough Fire Services, and she gained recognition for innovative work in fire and carbon monoxide safety. With new technology, Amanda helped the Peterborough Fire Services change behavior with a Sound the Alarm campaign to ensure the community took personal responsibility for fire and CO safety, and helped Peterborough fire crews access live data to predict alarm compliance. Let's have a look at the video.
Peterborough Fire Services is a professional full-time fire service. We serve a community of about 90,000. We have 3 full-time stations that span 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I believe that we are reactive instead of proactive. Something bad happens and then it becomes a priority. You know, your chances of surviving a fire are are increased by 50% if you have working smoke alarms. We could have as little as 2 minutes to safely escape a fire without death or injury. We need the early warning of a smoke alarm to let us know that there's a problem so that we can get out safely. Our firefighters use a mapping application when they're out visiting homes door to door, raising awareness about the importance of smoke alarms. When the fire department responds to a fire, we want you to be out front at your meeting place waiting for us to get there. We don't want to have to arrive and hear or find out that there's somebody still trapped inside. And that's the difference that a smoke alarm will make. Because most fires start in the middle of the night when we're all asleep. How else would you know if that your house was on fire in the middle of the night if you didn't have something to wake you up and tell you that there's a problem? We would like to make sure that you're standing outside waiting for us when we get there. So Take the Pledge is a community component for our smoke alarm program where members of the community can go to our website, take a survey telling us that they take the pledge that they have working smoke and CO alarms in their homes. That syncs with the app that the firefighters use so that when the firefighters are out, they won't stop at that home because we know that they have working smoke alarms already. Just using the application in general it proved far more efficient than the way we were doing business before. We've seen about a 31% increase in the number of homes we're able to visit, which works out to be about over 20,000 homes in the city that we have physically visited. So we're able to reach more people with a very important message. It's hard to put into words how honored we are. It's such an incredible achievement. But at the end of the day, it proves again that this program is effective and that it's saving lives in our community, and that's really the big win.
Amanda?
Thank you. Don't drop it.
Don't drop it. Thank you. Well, thank you to all of our Safety Award winners. They're a testament to everything that TSSA stands for and exemplify the important role that we can all play in contributing to a safer Ontario. And please join me in congratulating and thanking them all for their commitment and dedicating to safety in Ontario. And now I'll pass the podium to our chair.
Thank you, David. The TSSA Board of Directors is pleased to see the continued success of the TSSA Safety Awards in its third year. John, Alex, Amanda, I trust that you are as proud of yourselves as we are of you, and we're very grateful for your commitment to public safety. Thank you so much. I think this reminds us all of what we can accomplish when we work together in safety. It is the culmination of all of our efforts, from the board, senior management, TSSA staff, and our integral safety partners, that provides Ontario with its enviable safety record. As David mentioned, with TSSA's continual safety improvements, the modernization of the organization's business processes, information data management systems known as TSSA's 2020 program, will further enhance our safety decisions, customer service, and operational efficiency. This fiscal year, the board continued to monitor top enterprise risks, with a key focus on TSSA's commitment to fix the foundation and strengthen our internal culture. I was pleased to see the continued and strengthened governance of our 2020 board subcommittee this year under the very capable leadership of Doug Harrison, who is our vice chair and took on the additional role of chairing the subcommittee. To provide enhanced oversight, the board created a third standing committee focused on safety and regulatory affairs. Under the leadership of its chair, Elaine Pitcher, this new standing committee has provided insight on enhanced safety outcomes and compliance strategies, emerging safety and regulatory best practices, initiatives to enhance awareness and understanding of TSSA's safety priorities and strategies, and development of a modernized regulatory framework that emphasizes risk-informed decision-making. I have the honor of leading this dynamic board committed to safety and focused on strong stewardship, oversight, and strategic guidance to ensure TSSA's positive contribution to safety in Ontario. This year, the board was initially invigorated by two new members, Debbie Heiser and Aman Hundel, who I'm proud to say are both here today, who bring depth and experience in information systems to support our 2020 initiative. As a board management team, TSSA also focused on strengthening its partnerships with the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services and indeed the Minister's Office. Alignment between TSSA and its oversight ministry is critical to ensuring we pull together to enhance safety and support a competitive marketplace for Ontarians. At this juncture, I'd like to share a letter from our Minister, Tracy McCharles, who could not be with us today. Minister McCharles writes, "As Minister of Government and Consumer Services, I send my best wishes to all those attending the Technical Standards and Safety Authority Annual General Meeting and Safety Awards Ceremony. TSSA plays a key role in keeping the people of Ontario safe. By enforcing technical safety regulations, codes and standards, you are building public safety across the province. The engineering design reviews, inspections and investigations and licensing and education programs that you provide are integral to ensuring that the people of Ontario are safe from harm. In particular, I would like to commend you on your dedication to elevator safety, which has been a priority issue for our government this year. By commissioning a study into elevator availability issues, you are helping to make elevators in Ontario's multi-story residential buildings more accessible and having a direct impact on the millions of Ontarians living in these buildings. I am grateful for the collaborative relationship the Ontario government enjoys with TSSA and look forward to working closely together as we move forward with regulatory renewal projects for boilers and pressure vessels, upholstered and stuffed articles, and operating engineers. In addition, I look forward to continued progress with the ultimate implementation of TSSA's 2020 initiative and the resulting modernization of TSSA's business processes and IT structure. I would like also to recognize the achievements of individuals and organizations that were recognized for the 2017 Safety Awards program. You have demonstrated excellence in your field, and I commend your contributions and dedication to public safety. I hope that you will continue this public service excellence momentum in 2018. Please accept my congratulations as you move forward to another year of hard work. Signed, Tracy McCharles, Minister. It is now an honor for me to introduce the TSSA's Board of Directors, who have served both with great distinction and dedication. And I would ask each director to stand when his or her name is called and remain standing until all names have been mentioned. Don Aronson, President, Aronson and Associates, Inc. Linda Bowles, a former audit partner with Deloitte, LLP. Joanne Butler, chairs our Governance and Human Resources Committee, and her day job is Vice President, Market and Resource Development, Independent Electricity System Operator. Brian Chu, founding partner of Bogart, Robertson, and Chu LLP. Brian could not be with us today. Doug Harrison, Vice Chair and President and CEO of VersaCoal Logistics Services. Debbie Heiser, Executive Director, Executive Advisory, Office of the Chief Information Service Office at Optiv, Inc. Aman Hundal, former Business Continuity Analyst, Canada Revenue Agency. Michael Lees, Chair, Audit and Finance and Risk Committee, and former President, Babcock and Wilcox, Nuclear Energy. Elaine Pitcher, Chair, Safety and Regulatory Affairs Committee, and Barrister and Solicitor, Elaine Pitcher Law Office. Connie Ravito, President, Serenity Management. Wendy Tilford, former Deputy Minister, Ontario Government Ministries of Government and Consumer Services. Wendy could not be with us today, and to grandparents everywhere, it's because she's celebrating the arrival of a new grandson who arrived safely on Thanksgiving Day in Vancouver. And Hella Tosin, Senior Associate, Optimus SBR Management Consulting. Please join me in recognizing and thanking the Board of Directors for their dedication and efforts on behalf of all Ontarians and TSSA. Thank you all. As a public interest organization, TSSA is committed to public accountability. Our industry partners and the Government of Ontario, I am proud to be a part of an organization that plays such a critical role in safety, ensuring a very, very bright future for all the citizens in our province. At this time, I would like to ask David Scriven back to the podium to lead the question and answer session for today's proceedings. David, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Norm. So the Q&A session part, the proceedings is an opportunity to engage directly and publicly with TSSA. The forum provides additional transparency, accountability for what we do, and I'd encourage you to share any feedback that help us to continue to improve as an organization. I'd be happy to open the floor to questions.
Good morning. My name is Bob Price. I'm with the supervisor at TV Rhineland out of Houston, Texas. And recently, this year, I ran across a major engineering mistake made by a province. And I'd like to know the protocol to transmit that information to TSSA. So this never happens up within your jurisdiction.
I just, whether you're a bit close to the mic, the information is related to what, sir?
Pressure vessel quality.
Pressure vessel
Yes, sir.
quality?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an engineering oversight, very common in the industry.
Right.
And I ran across it and actually stopped the job for corrective action. So I want to make sure this never happens up here.
Okay.
I've already had the discussion with other provinces, but I
Right.
want to send information up here as a look-see, because there are pictures and I can send a report. So what is the protocol to send this type of information to TSSA?
I think my best recommendation would be to direct it to Mike Adams.
Mr.
He's
Adams?
just here. Mr. Adams is our statutory director for
Okay.
pressure vessel safety. And you could perhaps discuss the details. We'll have an opportunity for informal conversation, and we'd be happy to get that information.
Thank you for my time.
Okay, you're welcome. If there are no further questions here, myself, my team, the directors of the board will be available for informal conversation. And we'll have an opportunity then to also just follow up on any thoughts or ideas that you want to share with us. So I'll pass it back to you, Norm, I think, for the final closing of our AGM.
Thank you, David, and thank you all for coming. And we're delighted that you could find time in your schedules to be here. And in particular, I'm happy that you could be here to witness the Safety Awards program. And again, my congratulations to the winners for the initiatives that you have undertaken and your success in keeping Ontario and Ontarians safe. Thank you again for being here, and I would like now to invite you to join us all for refreshments in room number 3, I think it is. Is it, David, just outside here? For some light, yes, room number 3 for some light refreshments. And far more importantly, an opportunity for each of you to have a word with all of the expertise that's in this room, to express any concerns that you might have, any contributions that you might like to make. We would be absolutely delighted to receive them. And I thank you again for coming. This concludes our AGM, and we're looking forward to the casual conversations around refreshments. Thank you very, very much.